Better Call Saul, Howard Hamlin. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Please ensure that this video extends its reach by sharing it with people that may be interested in the topic of the analysis of Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad characters, and also in relation to the issues of narcissism and psychopathy. And have a couple of listens to ensure that you fully grasp all of the points that are made, as there is much material for you to digest. My thanks in advance. Howard Hamlin is one of the most intriguing supporting characters in the Breaking Bad universe, appearing primarily in the prequel series Better Call Saul, and making a brief cameo in Breaking Bad. Portrayed by Patrick Fabian, Howard is the polished, affluent managing partner of the law firm Hamlin, and McGill, a symbol of corporate success and privilege in Albuquerque's legal world. On the surface, he embodies the archetype of the elite lawyer, charismatic, impeccably dressed, and socially adept. However, his interactions with characters like Jimmy McGill, Saul Goodman, Kim Wexler, and Chuck McGill reveal layers of complexity, vulnerability, and that challenge initial perceptions of him as a mere antagonist. I'm going to analyse his traits to ascertain what is Howard Hamlin. Are we seeing a narcissist? Are we seeing a psychopath? Are we seeing something else? To understand his psychology, we must first contextualise his life and role in the narrative. Born in 1960 into a privileged family, Howard was groomed for success by his father, George Hamlin, co-founder of HHM alongside Chuck McGill. Howard joined the firm in 1985, becoming a named partner and elevating its status to one of New Mexico's premier legal outfits. His sun-kissed and patrician appearance, as described in character profiles, reflects a life of ease, but it also masks internal pressures. In Better Call Saul, Wiedersehen, Howard confides in Jimmy about feeling railroaded into the firm by his father, suggesting a lack of autonomy that contributes to his psychological strain. Howard's behaviours often revolve around maintaining professional equilibrium. He's a salesman more than a traditional lawyer, excelling in client relations and firm image management. For instance, in the episode Fifi, Howard and Chuck successfully retain the lucrative Mesa Verde account through persuasive negotiation, showcasing his interpersonal skills. Yet, this charm is not superficial. It stems from genuine loyalty to the firm and its people. A recurring pattern is Howard's role as a mediator in conflicts, often at personal cost. He shields Chuck's mental health issues from public scrutiny, as seen in Chicanery, where he testifies at Jimmy's bar hearing to protect HHM's reputation, even as Chuck unravels. After Chuck's suicide in Lantern, Howard internalizes blame, leading to insomnia and therapy sessions depicted in Smoke. This self-flagellation highlights a capacity for emotional empathy and remorse, which would contrast with psychopathic detachment. In Breaking Bad, Howard's appearance is limited to Season 5, Episode 13, where he briefly interacts with Saul in a flashback, reinforcing his established persona as a composed professional. However, Better Call Saul delves deeper, showing his deterioration under Jimmy and Kim's schemes in plan and execution. Howard is framed as a cocaine addict, leading to his professional humiliation and tragic death at Lalo Salamanca's hands. Posthumously, in Waterworks, colleagues like Richard Schweikart lament his legacy, underscoring his dedication. Howard's confidence can appear grandiose. In Uno, he dismisses Jimmy's demand for Chuck's severance with a smug assurance, emphasizing HHM's prestige. This reflects a belief in his firm's superiority, potentially tied to fantasies of legacy building inherited from his father. However, this is not delusional. HHM's success is factual, and Howard's actions, like expanding the firm in Season 4 despite financial woes, stems from responsibility rather than ego inflation. In contrast to many narcissists, Howard admits vulnerabilities in a genuine way, such as in Smoke, where he confesses to Jimmy about blaming himself for Chuck's death, showing a self-awareness that is absent in narcissists and was not done simply for the purposes of asserting control. Howard maintains a pristine image, often seeking validation through professional respect. In Magic Man, he offers Jimmy a job at HHM, partly to bolster his own redemption arc post-Chuck. This might be seen as fishing for admiration, as accepting Jimmy might elevate Howard's image as magnanimous. Yet examples counter this. After Jimmy vandalizes his car with bowling balls in Namaste, Howard remains composed, not demanding apologies, but instead rescinding the offer calmly. In episode JAM, his therapy and self-reflection suggest a genuine pursuit of inner peace, not external praise. Early perceptions of Howard as arrogant stem from actions like demoting Kim to document review in Gloves Off after Jimmy's unauthorized commercial jeopardizes the case. This punishment feels entitled, as Howard treats subordinates strictly to protect the reputation of the firm. In Hero, he sues Jimmy for trademark infringement over a billboard stunt, displaying haughty legal dominance. This could be seen as the behaviour of a narcissistic jerk, but it's contextual, as Howard is acting to safeguard HHM, not for personal gain. Later, he forgives Kim's scholarship debt, in Click, showing humility and an absence of entitlement. Howard finds himself accused of exploiting others, such as using Chuck's influence while sidelining Jimmy. In Pimento, it's revealed Howard blocked Jimmy's hiring at Chuck's behest, appearing manipulative. However, he apologizes to Kim and recommends Jimmy to Davis and Maine, demonstrating non-exploitative intent. Emotional empathy is evident in his guilt over Chuck. In Breathe, Kim berates him for mishandling Chuck's estate, but Howard's dishevelled appearance and insomnia reveal deep remorse. Unlike the empathy deficit found in a narcissist, Howard perceives others' pain, as in Something Unforgivable, where he warns Kim about Jimmy's toxicity out of genuine concern. Howard envies Chuck's legal prowess, as implied in Lantern, where he buys out Chuck to save the firm, but feels overshadowed. His uniqueness is tied to privilege, not pathology. In Rock and Hard Place, amid Jimmy's pranks, Howard hires a PI, showing resourcefulness without envy-driven malice. Overall, Howard scores low with regard to the assessment of him as a narcissist. There is some grandiosity. He shows a degree of arrogance, albeit in context. In effect, he's more of a tragic figure that's burdened by guilt, which is not something, of course, that you would see with a narcissist. It's also the case that he exhibits growth through therapy, which of course contrasts with the narcissist's resistance to change. In the Namaste phase, he symbolises acceptance, which is far from narcissistic rigidity. Accordingly, whilst there are narcissistic traits which one would expect with a lawyer of his ilk, he does not cross the evidential threshold to be found to be a narcissist. What about the consideration of psychopathy? Well, Howard does exhibit superficial charm, but he lacks core deficits like remorselessness or antisociality. Howard's charm is undeniable. In Rebecca, he schmoozes clients with effortless grace, earning the salesman label from Jimmy in Bagman. This charm aids in retaining Mesa Verde in Nailed. Psychopaths use charm manipulative. Howard's is genuine, as seen when he supports employees like Kim by forgiving debts. His self-worth is high, but grounded. Post-Chuck, he admits faults in therapy, unlike psychopathic inflation. Howard occasionally withholds truth, such as hiding Chuck's veto and Jimmy's hiring, revealed in Season 1, Episode 9. In Sabrosito, he navigates Chuck's delusions diplomatically. However, this is professional discretion, not pathological deceit. Unlike Jimmy McGill's cons, Howard avoids manipulation for personal gain. He buys out Chuck at financial cost to himself, exhibiting self-sacrifice. With regard to the instances of remorse or guilt, this is where Howard starkly diverges. After forcing Chuck's retirement, leading to suicide, Howard is racked with guilt. He tells Jimmy, "I pushed him out. I thought it was for the good of the firm," and seeks therapy for insomnia. A psychopath would feel no such burden. Howard's emotional response indicates intact conscience. He confronts Jimmy and Kim. He expresses disgust at their soulless actions, highlighting the presence of his moral compass. Howard's emotions are deep, not shallow. He weeps over Chuck's death and shows concern for Kim. warning her about Jimmy despite past tensions between them. Callousness is absent. Even demoting Kim is framed as tough love, and he promotes her back after she proves herself in Ballyhae. Howard is self-made in effort, albeit privileged. He works tirelessly to revive HHM post-layoffs. In Winner, his impulsivity is low. He plans meticulously, like hiring a PI in Season 6, Episode 5, Black and Blue, to counter Jimmy's schemes. He does not exhibit parasitic traits. He pays Chuck's buyout from his own pocket. There's no evidence of promiscuity on the part of Howard. His marriage falls because of stress, not infidelity. See Axe and Grind, where he makes his wife a peace sign latte, showing effort. Early life is unproblematic, focused on law. Antisocial acts are nil. Howard upholds legality, contrasting with Jimmy's criminality. The fact is that Howard doesn't exhibit psychopathic traits. The only one that he might come close to is the exhibition of charm. Instead, Howard displays post-traumatic growth, using therapy to process displacement and loss. Howard shows interpersonal polish. He has image consciousness. He exhibits charm. But he has emotional empathy. He exhibits guilt. He moves from gilded cage privilege to authentic peace-seeking. Jimmy displaces rage onto Howard, viewing him as a symbol of unattainable success, exacerbating Howard's victimization. This dynamic highlights projection, where Jimmy's insecurities fuel the conflict. The arc of Howard is one of redemptive, akin to a tragic hero. In his final speech, "You're soulless, I'll land on my feet," reveals resilience and moral superiority. Post-death, Kim's confession in Waterworks restores Howard's legacy, emphasizing his undeserved fate. Howard Hamlin is a complex individual shaped by privilege, loss, and ethical fortitude. Superficial traits like charm and confidence are overshadowed by his clear emotional empathy, presence of remorse, and growth. He shows guilt over Chuck, compassion for Kim, composure amid pranks, which illustrate a man striving for betterment, tragically undone by others' pathologies. Howard, in the Breaking Bad universe, stands as a beacon of normalcy amid chaos. Accordingly, Howard Hamlin would be described as a normal, exhibiting both narcissistic and empathic traits, but also having emotional empathy. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.